Meantime, U.S. money was being sent overseas. And for what? Take a look at some of the stuff that we were paying for. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia, $2 million for sex changes and LGBT activism in Guatemala, $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt, $38 million to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, COVID, and $25,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia. We're talking about $40 million a week going to Afghanistan, to the Taliban, 32,000 transgender comic book in Peru, 10 million for the, I mean, you just can't make this up. 10 million worth of meals to Al-Qaeda. It's unbelievable. Let's bring in national security analyst and chairwoman of actforamerica.org, Brigitte Gabriel, also with us, retired U.S. Army Major General Bill Matz. Thank you guys so much for joining us. General, what do you think of these so-called expenses?
Yeah, I think they're terrible, Lydia, and thank you. It's nice to be on the Sunday agenda. This is what Musk is doing now. He is uncovering all of this that's been going on for years. USAID has been a rogue agency that I don't think reports to anybody, doing whatever they've been wanting to do. And so I think this is a good example of what Musk can do. He's just beginning here. And it's absolutely terrible what some of the money has been spent on.
Brigitte, there are reports of $40 million a week going to Afghanistan. And then the president came out swinging today in his fight to cut government waste. And just this morning, he said he's cutting all aid to South Africa. But a judge has halted plans to essentially dismantle USAID. This agency, as we know, has about 10,000 employees. What do you think about all of this waste and fraud and the outrage by the Democrats?
The waste that we are learning about is beyond shocking. I just read a story today that USAID gave $320 million to Hamas to build tunnels. They actually gave it to the Sanad factory to build a cement factory. And these are the cement that built the tunnels in Gaza. So what we are learning and what we are watching, our hard-earned tax dollars that we gave to our government to supposedly, sow goodwill across the globe with people who actually needed it. We are finding out it's going to fund terrorism across the globe, fund some ridiculous things that the people in America do not agree with. Like you said, 70% of Americans do not agree with how our money is being spent. And it's about time Elon Musk and President Trump and all the Trump team, all the leaders of all the agencies, this is exactly why we are pushing for all the nominees to be confirmed so they can take their position and start cleaning house.
General, USAID represents just 1% of the federal budget. And look how much waste and fraud we've already found. Can you only imagine just how much fraud there is in the rest of the budget? I mean, all of our money, how it's being wasted?
Yeah, Lydia, I'll tell you, Brigitte is absolutely right. It is beyond shocking. I've been in the federal government for 33 years as a soldier, and another 3 or 4 years in the former Trump administration. There is a lot of waste there that can be cut out, and the president's getting right into it. I will tell you, this is the era of common sense. Welcome to the era of common sense. And what we're seeing with Musk and President Trump, it's almost like an American blitzkrieg. We're going after them. We're going after these deep-seated, burrowed-in senior executive service folks and the bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. God bless them all.
Before I go to Brigitte for the next question, I want to get your thoughts on undoing a DEI, General, because this is something you've written about in your book, My Toughest Battle. You had polio as a child, but achieved incredible success through hard work. You believe, obviously, in merit you believe in meritocracy over identity politics.
No, I absolutely do. And my book that was just released, 2 weeks ago, My Toughest Battle, it's a battle about overcoming polio. I was paralyzed in my one leg in the 1940s, and they told my mother that I would never walk again without a brace or a crutch. Well, it's a long story, but through good medical work and through just personally fighting it, I was able to get through it and actually have a career in the infantry and the airborne. So that's what the story is about. In my afterword to the book, I wanted to put in context for the reader what it was like when I grew up in the 40s, 50s, and 60s as compared to America today. There's no comparison. I grew up in an era of accountability.
Right.
I grew up in an era of merit when testing was very popular. And if you fell, you picked yourself up. You didn't blame it on anybody else. You were not a victim. My father told me and told my sister, you work with the hand you're dealt.
That's right,
So
General.
that's what my story is about. And hopefully I think it will appeal to the young people that are military today. I talk about my time in Vietnam, going down and getting Noriega in 1989.
Yes.
But I think it will also appeal to, say, young mothers and families who might have adversity or have an issue right now.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I agree. Thank you. I encourage everyone to go out there and get your book. It sounds like a great read. Brigitte, final 20 seconds to you. I want to get your thoughts real quick on Mara Gaza.
Oh, on Gaza?
Yeah, do you think about the
the
redevelopment that President Trump is proposing? I wanted to hear your thoughts on it real quick.
Look, President Trump, he is the master of the art of the deal. He always says in his book, throw out some crazy number that you know you're not going to get, and finally when they settle in the middle, you get exactly what you wanted. We're not going to take over Gaza. We're not going to make it through the Riviera of the Middle East. Definitely, we're not going to own it or pay for it. But that's exactly why he threw this idea out, seeing pressuring the Arabic world to come to the negotiating table and start putting their money and making sure that they control the people in Gaza and their behavior. And I think that was his intention. We're not sending our troops and we're not sending our tax dollars to Gaza.
All right, we have to
Lydia,
leave.
let me give you my quick view on Gaza. This is a fresh, bold approach. This is aspirational. This is President Trump thinking actually beyond the box. He's not only in the box, he's beyond it. And I will tell you, the first thing that needs to be done to make any of this happen, they must totally eliminate every Hamas soldier. And I think the other thing is this is going to be very dependent on our regional partners over there. In this very minute, I would tell you that Trump and his administration is working with the Jordanians, the Saudis, the Egyptians, and it'll work.
We'll see. Hopefully they come to their senses as well, those Arab countries there, thinking beyond the box. I like that. Major Bill, Matz, and Brigitte, Gabriel, thank you both.